Alright guys, what's going on? So, it's been a couple weeks since we got a chance to make a video for pickups. And this last weekend was kind of slow. The weekend before that, there was a long weekend and I was at Baseland. So there was absolutely no pickups at all for that week. But this last week was a little bit slower. We did get a few pickups in. I only had about 2 hours or so to go hit up garage sales. And there was a handful of things that I picked up that I pretty much didn't own any of it, which is really, really nice. So we're going to be adding a ton of stuff to the collection today, which is really, really nice. So first pickup that I found, this is one that I found on Kijiji. It was listed that they had a PS3. So I was like, well, I guess I'll go check that out, may as well, because there was literally like no Kijiji listings for like any video game stuff. This is like the only one that I found out of like 600 listings, which was actually crazy. So went there first thing, and we ended up picking up only a few items. They had a PS3 with probably like 15 or so games. Nothing too crazy, no like standout titles or anything like that. I asked them how much they wanted for the PS3 bundle with all the games, as well as the few things I did pick up here. And they said they were asking $100, and I was like, well, I already have a PS3. I don't really need another one, and they're not an easy flip. So there was a couple items in here that I didn't have that I asked if they would be willing to separate. She said they'd be willing to separate some stuff. So the things I did pick out, I picked out 2 PlayStation Move controllers, which I didn't have any PlayStation Move controllers yet, as well as the PlayStation Eye. So I got all 3 of these guys. I picked them out, asked, okay, what do you want for these 3 controllers, or these 2 controllers and the PlayStation Eye? And she said 15. I said, would you take 10? She said, sure. $10 for those 3. Total steal. I think the Move controllers are actually fairly hard to come by. Again, I haven't really seen them too much myself. So I think they're fairly hard to come by based off of what I've looked up. They're probably worth about $20 a piece, and then the PlayStation Eye is kind of like variable. So pick them up for $10, probably worth close to 50 or so. So pretty stoked on that. Really nice pickup. And then we were driving around for a little while. I was just driving to random garage sales because there was no video game stuff listed. And it was just dead for video games. And the few that I did find, it was jacked up prices. People were asking $60 for Guitar Hero with a controller, and you understand that's crazy, right? Pretty much worthless asking dime into prices. Anyways, I did find one more pickup though from garage sales, and it was a really, really cool one. It was one of the last ones I ended up going to, and I asked the girl if they had any video game stuff, because I didn't see anything out. I didn't see any video games. It was kind of an older area, a lot of kind of older people getting rid of just junk. And they did have one cool item, which was the Donkey Kong Kongas. Really cool. I didn't have these yet, and I still don't have the game, but I've seen the game around. And the Donkey Kong Kongas, even if I don't have the game to play them with, are a really, really cool piece to kind of show off. And I picked them up and I kind of looked at them. They're in pretty good shape. They're not really like banged up or anything like that. And I didn't actually ask what they wanted for them. I kind of held on to them for a second, and I walked up to the girl. I said, would you take $2 for them? She's like, give me $1. And I said, sure. So $1 for the Donkey Kong Kongas, which is a really, really awesome pickup. I think they're worth close to $30 or so based off what I've seen on eBay. So no problem with those pickups at all. That was all we got for garage sales. Again, I only had about 2 hours to go to garage sales. It was kind of a late start to the morning, and then I also had to teach a little bit earlier than I'd like to. So we only got a couple pickups in, but not a big deal. I decided that later in the day, because I had to go to band practice, that I would go and hit up a couple pawn shops before practice. So I went to not my favorite pawn shop first. I went to another pawn shop that I also like quite a bit, but their deals aren't quite as nice. And I had picked out a few different games. I think I picked out 2 original Xbox games as well as a PS3 game that I didn't have. And I had asked them if they would make like a bundle on the 3 of them, and they were like, usually they're pretty flexible, but the one girl that was working here was like firm, where it's like you can only do Xbox, you can only do PS3. It's like you have to get 3 of each console. So she was very, very firm on that. So I said, okay, fine, I'll go see if I can find one more Xbox game, because the 2 that I had picked out to start were the Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. I didn't have this one. As well as the gem, which is why I had to find another game, which was this Crash Super Pack. Pretty rare game, very, very nice one. So I went back and I picked up another game that I actually already had, but I knew it was a fairly valuable one and one that I really enjoy. Maybe I could see if I could get an upgrade out of it. So it was Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. That was the other one that I ended up picking up. Yeah, really, really awesome games. I highly recommend checking out the Oddworld series. I really like these ones. So that was the first one. That was pick up 3 games for $10. Riddick, I think, is worth maybe like $8 or so. Oddworld, about $10. And the Crash one, I think, is worth closer to, what is it, $20, $30, something like that? $20. Yeah, $20 for this one. So ended up picking up the 3 of those guys for $10. Beautiful. All right, and then I went to my favorite pawn shop that they always do. Yeah, the 1 for $5, 3 for $10, 7 for $20 type deal. And I wasn't able to find a ton here, but there was one in particular that it's not a particularly valuable game, but it's one that I just had to have because of nostalgia and just a series that I really enjoy. But I'll go through the other 2 that I kind of filled with. So the 2 fillers that I picked up were Fear. Again, really love Fear. I played through this series maybe a year or 2 ago. Fear 1, 2, and 3. And they are fantastic, fantastic horror shooter games. Really, really awesome. So I ended up picking that up on the 360. And as well as MotorStorm Apocalypse. I thought this would be a really common game because the MotorStorm games, they don't stand out in my mind as something that'd be particularly valuable. But this game's worth about $10. It's one that I didn't have, so I figured may as well pick it up, add to the collection. Fear, I think, is worth about 7 or so. And then the one game that I did see that it was okay, I need to find a couple filler games so that I can make this deal worth it. Was Ape Escape on the Loose. Ape Escape is such a wicked series. One of my favorite games, and so much nostalgia of playing Ape Escape on the PS1. Love Ape Escape. I really want to go back and play these games now. But yeah, I didn't even know that there was one on the PSP, but now we have it, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, so let's throw all this stuff on the shelf and take a look at how we did this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Again, not too many pickups. Got a few controllers and 6 games for $31 total. Value in total is about $143. So not too bad. I gotta say, not too bad. Pretty happy about that. I'm going to also try starting to see if we can do a poll to get these games on my Twitch stream. So take a look in the cards up, I think in the top right corner. I'm going to be doing a poll for these games and seeing if we can get some of them played on stream. Whichever one wins the poll, I'm going to be doing a stream on Friday of that game. So get your votes in, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you guys later.